In this video I'll show you how to crochet these long trousers for babies at the age of 0 to 3 months. Of course we need wool. Today I choose my bushing number 2 in yellow. You will need approximately 2 or 3 rolls, a 4mm hook, scissors and a sewing needle. We begin with the first loop. Now we chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next we work a single crochet into the second stitch counted from the hook. We keep stitching single crochet until we reach the end of the series of chains. Once we reach the end, we turn our chain around and begin the new round by chaining 1. We keep working single crochet, but from now on only into the back of each stitch for every round. So we only use this back part here. And once again only the back of the stitch. We continue this pattern until the end of the round. That's how we create the rib pattern for the waistband. We turn everything around again and begin the next as well as all subsequent rounds for the waistband by chaining 1. We will repeat this round a total of 59 times so that we have a total number of 16 rows. I have finished the 16 rows and will now close the waistband to a circle. Make sure that no loops are formed when you put both ends on top of each other. Now we work the topmost stitches together with the help of slip stitches. Of course, we begin with the first slip stitch at the beginning. And another slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. One last slip stitch. Our nice rib pattern waistband is almost finished. Following up, we immediately continue crocheting the trousers. We start the transition by chaining 1 and work a single crochet into each end of the waistband's round afterwards. So at the end you should have stitched 16 single crochet. We end this round with a slip stitch into the chain from the beginning. We begin the new round by chaining 3. We will now stitch a total of 10 double crochet rounds. We begin with the first double crochet into the stitch of the chain. We continue working all around the round, 1 double crochet into each stitch. The last and 16th double crochet goes into the stitch right before the chain. We end this round with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the beginning. We begin the next round by chaining 3 again. Once more, we work a double crochet into each stitch. We will repeat this last round a total of 9 times, beginning each round by chaining 3, working 16 double crochet afterwards and finishing with the slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the beginning. Now we have stitched a total of 10 double crochet rows. We will begin crocheting the first leg. For that, we start with another 3 chains. Since we have a total of 16 stitches, we will now stitch 1/2 of that, which means 13 double crochet. "29" and "30". We close the first trouser leg by taking the beginning of the round and crocheting a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the beginning. We continue working like that for the upper part of the trousers. We repeat the last round another 9 times and begin each round as usual by chaining 3. A double crochet into each stitch follows, and at the end of each round we work a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the beginning. We have now stitched 10 rows in total. Now we will add another 11th row in which we will tighten the trouser leg before we crochet the cuffs at the end of the trousers. To do that, we start off by chaining 3 again. Now we work 2 double crochet together for the entire round. And we stitch another 2 double crochet together. We repeat this procedure for the entire round. We work the last 2 double crochet together. We finish this round with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the beginning. We already tightened the trouser cuffs a little bit, so we will now add the end part of the legs. To do that, we start by chaining 1 and will now work rows of single crochet into each stitch until we reach the desired width. We will skip the slip stitch at the end of each round as well as the chain at the beginning that comes with it. I will stitch a total of 4 single crochet rows. Once you have reached the desired width for your cuffs, you work a slip stitch into the last stitch of this round. Afterwards, you can pull out the thread, cut it off. I will keep hiding the ends of the thread for later at the end. We have now finished the first trouser leg and will begin with the second one next. We take a new thread and search for the first stitches, which we have not worked on yet, to find the spot to insert the hook again. We start off by chaining 3 again. Here we also stitch a total of 10 double crochet rows. We begin each following round by chaining 3, work double crochet again afterwards, and finish every round with a slip stitch into the third chain from the beginning. Once you finish the 10 rounds, we will add another 11th row here as well, in which we tighten the trouser leg. For that, we begin by chaining 3 again. Now we work 2 double crochet together for every stitch again, just like we did with the first trouser leg. And one more time. We repeat working double crochet together for the entire round. At the end, I have one stitch left over, into which I will work a simple double crochet. This round we also end with a slip stitch into the third chain from the beginning. At the end of the trouser leg, we are only missing the cuffs. To do the cuffs, we start by chaining 1 again and keep working the same number of single crochet rounds as we did for the first leg. While doing so, we will skip the slip stitch at the end of each round again. Once you finish stitching all the rows, we will work another slip stitch into the last stitch. Afterwards, we can pull out the thread and cut it off. Now we take our sewing needle so we can hide the thread ends under the stitches. We cut off the rest. We repeat the same things on the other side again. Sometimes it's possible for a rather big hole to appear between the legs. Now we will just sew the hole up. For that, we take our sewing needle and cut off some yarn. Then we insert the thread at one of the corners at the hole and secure it with a double knot. Now we try to sew everything up as good as possible. At the end, you make another knot into the last loop so that the hole doesn't open again by itself. I will hide a small part of the thread under the remaining stitches and cut off the rest. The hole is now gone. Now we can turn the trousers on the right side. Theoretically, our trousers are now finished, but I always like to make a cord for the waistband in order to be able to fasten the trousers when putting them on. For that, we work a series of chains now. We begin with the first loop. Now we chain 100. 1, 2, and 100. At the end, we pull the thread through the last loop and cut it off generously, so that we can still work with it in case we want to make the cord longer. Now I take my sewing needle again and thread the end of the yarn into the needle. You can now choose yourselves whether you want the cord to be on the inside or on the outside. I prefer being able to see the cord from the outside. We put the trousers down in front of us and begin counting the ribs at the left and right side of the waistband, to call it like that. At the end there should be one rib left over in the middle, which I usually prefer to stay free, so I choose to start at the area to the left. Choose the height for your cord and pull the thread through the loops with the help of your sewing needle. Remember to always stay at the same height. We continue working like that around the entire waistband. At the end, I leave one of the ribs at the waistband open, just like I said before. Depending on your personal preference, feel free to expand or shorten the chain now. Finally, I tighten the knots at the end of the cord again and cut them off, leaving only a little bit over. Pull both ends of the cord so that it has the same length on both sides. Now we just make a little bow and finished are the long trousers.